But first to the story that's been breaking a short while ago. One of the enduring figures of Indian politics, Ram Vilas Paswan, Union Minister, has passed away. Mr. Paswan passed away after a prolonged illness. He had given over his party's mantle to his son Chirag to lead the party in the Bihar elections. That announcement came, in fact, from Chirag Paswan a short while ago, that his father was no more. I'm going straight across to Rohit Singh, who joins me at the moment. Rohit, this comes just ahead of the Bihar elections, where Chirag Paswan wants to carve out his own identity. How easy is it going to be, given that Ram Vilas Paswan was really the mascot for years of the Dalits of Bihar?
Well, look, Rajdeep, stepping into Ram Vilas Paswan's shoe will not at all be easy for a Chirag Paswan, because he's just 6 years into politics. And remember, Ram Vilas Paswan's political career is 51 years old. In the 1969, he became an MLA for the first time. Until now, he is active in politics. He was, in fact, active in politics. So more than 50 years of political career, which he has a legacy, which will be very difficult for Chirag Paswan to fill. But yes, it's a very big challenge also, and an opportunity also for Chirag Paswan. And remember, it's only in last November that Ram Vilas Paswan handed over the baton of his party, in fact, the reins of the party, to Chirag Paswan, and he became the national president of Lok Jan Shakti Party, and he has been running the party since then. But the death of Ram Vilas Paswan, the passing away of Paswan just in the middle of the election season, is a big shock, in fact, for the Bihar. And he was one of the three stalwarts of Bihar politics: Keep Nitish Kumar, Lalu Prasad, and Ram Vilas Paswan. So he was one of the three stalwarts of pillars of the Indian Bihar politics, and extremely tragic that he is no more, and he's passed at the age of 74.
Right. Rohit Singh there with those details on how this is going to play out. Remember, we'll have a special today at 10 p.m. One of the last interviews that Ram Vilas Paswan and his son Chirag did together. We'll have that at 10 p.m. on one of the tallest figures of contemporary politics over the last several decades. Let's move on to tonight's top story. The UP police has slapped the dreaded Unlawful Activities Prevention Act on 4 suspects, including a Kerala journalist, accusing them of wanting to foment communal riots in Hathras, where, remember, a victim, a Dalit girl, was assaulted and died a few days ago. The police claim that this group was planning to create trouble in Hathras over that alleged assault, over the assault and the murder of that girl. The wife of the journalist, Siddiqui Kappan, who is from Mamalapuram in Kerala, has rejected the charges. So is the Yogi Adityanath government in Uttar Pradesh now looking to fix anti-terror charges to deflect from the core issue? Who assaulted and killed a 19-year-old Dalit girl? Let's take a look at how UAPA is being misused, not just in UP, but across the country. Take a look.
Mystery surrounds the arrest of 4 people in Uttar Pradesh in connection with the Hathras horror. These suspects were picked up from Mathura toll plaza on October 5 while on the way to the village where a 19-year-old was allegedly gang raped and murdered. The police have since then slapped the tough anti-terror law, the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, on them. The suspects in the police custody are a Delhi-based Malayali journalist, Siddiqui Kappan, Radical Outfit Popular Front of India student wing office bearers Atikur Rahman, Masood Ahmed, and a 4th person named Alam. The police have booked the 4 for sedition, promoting enmity between groups, raising funds for terror, and hurting religious sentiments. They claim that the suspects were out to incite caste violence and had created Justice for Hathras victim pamphlets. The police alleged they created a website for this purpose, which has now been taken down. Sources in the Uttar Pradesh police had earlier claimed 100 crore rupees had reached the Radical Outfit PFI. Arrested journalist Siddiqui Kappan's family has rejected the charges. Kappan's wife claims the charges against him are baseless.
Popular Front-ഉമായിട്ട് ബന്ധമുണ്ടെന്നാണ് എനിക്കറിയുന്ന സിദ്ദീഖപ്പൻ എൻ്റെ ഹസ്ബൻഡ് അങ്ങനെ ഒരു ബന്ധം ഇല്ല.
The editor of the Malayalam news portal Arimukam says Kappan has been contributing to us since January. On Monday he informed me about the journey to Hathras, but I have no information about the people with him.
UP police have arrested 4 suspects in connection with terror activities. But surprisingly, they have not shared any detail of this arrest and crime committed by these people. This is raising serious question over police action because under UAPA Act, they will be kept under custody for 6 months without bail. With camera person Neeraj Kumar, this is Shiven Srivastava for India Today in Hathras.
Let me raise some big questions in our first big political face-off this evening. Is the Yogi government misusing UAPA, the anti-terror law? Is there really evidence against this particular Kerala journalist? Are anti-terror laws in this country prone to abuse? So our focus right at the top is in the manner in which anti-terror laws are being used in the country. And is the Yogi government and others guilty of the same? Joining me now, Colin Gonsalves, Senior Advocate, Supreme Court, Vikram Singh, former DGP UP, Sambit Patra, the BJP's evergreen spokesperson, and Pawan Kheda, his Congress counterpart. Appreciate all of you joining us. Dr. Patra, let's come to you first. It's your government in Uttar Pradesh, a journalist from Kerala, and this journalist is the General Secretary of the Kerala Union of Working Journalists, and 3 others are arrested by the UP police on their way to Hathras yesterday on the allegation that they were raising funds for a terrorist act. Now the fact is no proof is provided of where these funds are, how, on what basis are these people being arrested. You just simply catch them, perhaps according to critics, to shift the narrative. Instead of focusing on the girl who was assaulted and is murdered, you've now brought in terrorism and the Muslim angle. That's the charge against the government, and you're using UAPA to, in a way, target those who you fear could be questioning your government.
See, Rajdeep, since you individually yourself are against media trial, I firmly believe that as far as your allegation that the Uttar Pradesh government is not presenting any facts, and just without facts they have pushed these people, these innocent people, behind bars. My submission would be that these 4 people were presented to the local court, and after due deliberation these people were sent to judicial custody. So in fact, as far as facts are concerned, the courts would not send anyone to judicial custody without presentation of facts and figures.
No, the fact is no details have been provided, no details have been made public. The family strongly denies the charge. The Kerala Union of Working Journalists says that he was going there to report the Hathras story.
Okay. Now tell me a single wife of any of the terrorists. I'm not naming Mr. Siddiqui as a terrorist, but leave aside Siddiqui, any wife of any terrorist, Burhan Wani, Afzal Guru, Yaqub Memon, did any one of them come to the forefront and said that, well, yes, my husband was a terrorist? None of them said that.
No,
they all said, they gave interviews after
Secretary of the Kerala Union of Working Journalists overnight become a terrorist? How does he become a terrorist? He was contributing to a website. Suddenly you call him a terrorist. Is this to deflect attention and bring in the Muslim as the enemy instead of focusing at the core issue of the assault and murder of a girl?
Rajdeep, first and foremost, why do you see the accused as Muslims and Hindus? I mean, this is the problem of a certain section of people. I mean, you arrest, had these people being named as some Ram, Shyam, Ghanshyam, then this debate would not have been happening. This debate is happening only because this person is Siddiqui and the other is Ahmad or Ali or something like that. I don't even know what the name of those 4 people are. But let me tell you, this outrage is only selective because there is religion involved. And this is why we have been saying in Balrampur case, the Balrampur rape case, none of these opposition parties are going for an outrage because Rizwan and Shahid are the ones who have raped. So they're not even visiting Balrampur. This selectivism has to be done away with.
Rape is not determined by the religion of the rapist. Rape is a crime against women, period. Then whether it is done by Ram or Rahim doesn't matter to me.
I know that, period.
So please don't tell me about Balrampur.
No, it does matter, sir. It does matter.
It doesn't matter to me.
No, sir.
I want justice for the girl.
Mr. Rajdeep, I believe that if we have called a... Mr. Rajdeep,
Yes,
you don't
sir.
have to blow your trumpets like this. You have asked a question. I'm going to answer you
Yes.
very, very politely and very calmly.
Lovely.
Please don't instigate me to be shouting on this debate.
Good.
Number one, you have asked me a question. You told that there were no facts presented into the
Yes.
public domain and poor Muslim chaps have been thrown behind bar. My simple suggestion is facts were presented on the floor of the court, and only based on the facts presented on the floor of the court that these people have been moved into judicial custody, because the court is not supported by anchors and reporters. It moves on the Constitution of India, number one. Number two, well, if they are, in fact, I gather that their organization, the journalist organization, they have moved a petition to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is hearing this habeas corpus tomorrow, that's Friday, a day after tomorrow, that's Friday. Let's wait for what the Supreme Court has to say. Number three, you said this gentleman was a wonderful gentleman, a journalist. How can he turn into a terrorist overnight or a conspirator overnight? My God, Osama bin Laden was also Osama Ji for the Congress party. Osama bin Laden was one of the most learned engineers also. But then he was a terrorist. And
Dr.
some of the
Mathura,
pilots who were flying all those aeroplanes in America were so learned people, but they were the ones who were responsible for 9/11.
You know, my
so please
worry-
let's not say that learned people, journalists, people of education do not engage in terror activities.
Okay, you made your point. I want to come to you, Pawan Khera. Is the Congress party believing that this is actually possibly, as the Yogi government is alleging, part of a wider conspiracy to incite caste and communal riots in Hathras, or do you believe it's a deflection from the reality on the ground?
Rajdeep, let's address the larger context in which there is a doubt on whatever this government does now. Why I say now? Because over the last 6 years, we've seen a pattern. What is the pattern? The pattern is whether it's Rohit Vemula, whether it's Bhima Koregaon, whether it's a Bittu Sonowal putting Lenin's photograph on his Facebook profile, or an Akhil Gogoi saying Lal Salam. This government invokes terror, terror, terror. I'll remind you, UP election, assembly election, none other than the Prime Minister comes and says that the Kanpur train accident was caused by terrorists. What happened to that? NIA in 2018 refused to even file a charge sheet because they found no evidence. So any government, if any government acts irresponsibly when it comes to something as serious as terrorism, I'm afraid that would end up as a wolf cry. And when
But you know, Pawan
Khera,
Khera, when there was a Congress government in the 1990s and there was TADA, the Terror Act then, when in the early part of this century there was POTA and there was a UPA government, Congress was also accused of misusing these anti-terror laws. These anti-terror laws with their stringent provisions are liable to misuse.
Rajdeep, that is a larger debate which we definitely should get into, whether anti-terror laws can be misused, which government misuses it more, against which community. All that is a separate debate. Fact of the matter here is, whether it was the Pokhryan train accident, where the Prime Minister comes, and I'm sorry, misleads the nation, say, agar aapki investigation complete nahi hui hai, please let the Prime Minister not talk like this, ki terror activity ho gayi. After that, what happened? There was this guy, Motilal Paswan, Uma Shankar Patel, Mukesh Yadav. They were accused of colluding with terrorists and causing this train accident. What happened to these three now? I ask. NIA refused to do a charge sheet because they could not find anything. So why did the Prime Minister make this comment? Therefore, I repeat, Rajdeep, because you interrupted me, do not use terror as a political tool. Don't talk about terror so loosely, because it's a very serious matter that cannot become a tool in your hands of your petty politics. It's not. Now, DSP Devinder Singh, उन पर तो UAPA नहीं लगता, लेकिन लाल सलाम कहने वाले पे लग जाता है. These are questions, which any civil, decent debate needs to address.
So you're saying there is a selective use of UAPA. It's used in a way against the so-called enemies of the government. And we are seeing it to some extent, Colin Gonsalves, in Uttar Pradesh. We have seen it in Delhi with the riots, where UAPA has been used in some cases even against student activists. So they go into jail under stringent provisions. Is there a propensity, in your view, to misuse the act? Or, as Dr. Patra is suggesting, that's a matter for the courts to decide. Why politicize it?
Well, I think it's become very fashionable to arrest a person without evidence. And when you're asked, as you did, Rajdeep, you asked him, what is the proof? You've arrested a person today, you must have had some proof. And they don't have proof. They don't have proof of these crores of rupees that have come in. They don't even show you the website which is supposed to be offensive. They don't have proof at all. And what would have happened when they went before the judge? They would have said, we need time to investigate. And UAPA allows 6 months. So we are investigating. And the judge would have said mechanically and wrongly, and is happening in many cases, the judge would have said, all right, I'll give you time to investigate. But the question is, when you arrested a man, when you put that person in a lockup, and now you put him in a jail, must you not have proof before you arrest? And you ask him again and again, you ask the government in every show of yours, Rajdeep, show us the proof. Challenge them to show some proof of this money and this offensive website and this, conspiracy. They will not have proof.
They say 100 crores. They claim that 100. They claim that there are 100. Just a minute, Colin. They claim that there are 100 crores which were being put in to ensure communal riots take place in UP. This was a larger plot.
Correct. So therefore, you have arrested them because you've come to some conclusion. You can't arrest them without having a conclusion. So you've got your facts. You've got some proof. Forget 100 crores. Show me a bank account. Show me money. Show me cash. Show me witnesses of 1 crore. They won't be able to show you. It's all bluff. And they told the judge, I'm conducting a massive investigation. And the judge would have said, all right, judicial custody, carry on with your investigation. Because judges in India have become insensitive to the misuse. Right up to the Supreme Court.
That's a very important point.
Insensitive to the misuse of this act.
You're making a very important point that even the judges are insensitive, you believe, to the misuse of the act. I just want to bring in the police officer, Vikram Singh, former DG UP, because look at the numbers. The cases under UAPA have increased since 2016, Vikram Singh. The charge sheeting is poor. 3,005 cases registered under this anti-terror law between 2016 and 18. Charge sheets filed in only 821 cases. That's barely 27%. And the majority, those who actually, when the charge sheet is filed, are let off. They're not convicted. So you don't even have a proper case, and people are going to spend months in jail.
Well, Mr. Rajdeep Sardesai, the statistics speak for themselves. And I would say, like you, I would agree with you, that UAPA has often been used as a preventive detention tool rather than as a case to be charge-sheeted and produced before court. I have hands-on experience. I'll just take a minute. Starting from 1977 to the use of MISA, Maintenance of Internal Security Act, to POTA, to TADA, to NSA, to UP Gangsters Act and the MACOCA. And let me tell you, it is not in the interest of any police officer, much as some activists would allege that police officers are complicit, the judges are complicit. Only the activists are above board and somebody who are above the skies. It doesn't happen that way. If Rajdeep, if I had faltered and made a malicious or a vindictive arrest, I would not have been in front of you today. I would have either been in Naini jail or in the Tihar jail. And any police officer who misuses the authority...
No police officer who makes a vindictive arrest is going to be jailed. Let's be very clear. The police take their instructions from their political bosses.
That again is a sweeping generalization and a very unfair one.
No, show me. Give me an example. Just now Pawan Kheda gave the example of Davinder Singh in Kashmir. Why don't you put the anti-terror law against him?
And look at the whole... I asked you for just 1 minute. But I know the truth is very inconvenient at this point of time. Do you think for a moment we have the time? We don't have a conscience. Our parents taught and educated us to be vindictive and to be the butchers at the hand of some powers that be. And everybody has a conscience and the police officers have none.
Mr. Vikram Singh, the fact is that Hathras happens more than 20 days ago. Suddenly we are being told it's part of a wider terror plot for communal and caste riots.
I knew you would be asking this question and I went back to the UP police officers. Three of them happen to be hardcore PFI members. And the PF members, it is not for the police to disclose all the details and make them in public domain. They are meant for the courts, and there's a thing known as right to know and need to know. Everybody cannot
So
be
if
free
I'm
to
a
self-
PFI member, do I automatically become a terrorist?
Did I say that? PFI member complicit in objectionable activities falling in the purview of UAPA makes that person liable to be prosecuted, arrested and produced before the court. I would not say that the police is complicit.
Okay, but
I am not saying the judges are complicit. And just one last point, compare this with the Home Security Act of USA and the USA Patriot Act. I mean, this will be kindergarten level of UAPA, is only kindergarten level preventive detention in comparison
Sir,
to what
that's because the US at least has a system where there are checks and balances. The problem is in the Indian system, those checks and balances seem to be collapsing. Sambit Patra, I come back to it. I am sorry, the Indian police force has much to answer for, as you know, in recent times. I'm just coming to you, Dr. Patra, because look at the narrative that is being spun. For days and weeks, there has been an attempt made, or the last few days, there has been an attempt made to suggest that what happened in Hathras is part of a wider conspiracy. You won't tell us what this conspiracy is. You'll arrest people under preventive detention. You'll put them under UAPA, and you want to distract attention from the fact that a young girl was assaulted and died from the Dalit community. That's the reality. To run away from that, you make, and that's where I said the Muslim comes in as an enemy using anti-terror laws. The Congress did it with TADA, you're doing it with UAPA. That's the reality.
See, you have to allow me some time. Your question was long, and please allow me some uninterrupted time. Number one, I heard that we are quite insensitive towards terrorism from my good friend Mr. Pawan Khera. Let me tell you what insensitiveness towards terrorism is. Insensitiveness towards terrorism is when we lose, when we have a martyr inspector of police in Batla House encounter, and rather than standing with the martyred inspector, when we have a martyred inspector, rather than standing with the martyred inspector, in fact, the party in rule then says that Sonia Gandhi could not sleep for 3 days because she saw the dead bodies of 3 terrorists. The party tried their best to stand with the terrorists. Later, it was proved that they were terrorists. And in fact, insensitivity towards terrorism is when a whole bunch of people, a gang I would say, tries to prove that Burhan Wani was nothing but headmaster's son, a poor headmaster's son. There was a narrative floated for Yaqub Memon that look, he had a disturbed childhood and that's the reason as to why he did what he did. And in fact, the Supreme Court of this country was forced to open itself at 3 a.m. in the morning just to hear this case, despite the fact that we had 30 years hearing on this case and he was a proclaimed terrorist. Let me tell you, there are a section of people who would not even agree that Osama bin Laden is a terrorist. But we have to save this country. We have to secure this country. And let me tell you, it's an age of lone wolf attack as well. So we should have designated individuals as terrorists. What is happening is you can proscribe and ban organizations as terror organizations, but the same people are shifting base and forming a second terror organization.
Who's told you not to ban it? Has anyone stopped you from banning these organizations? But do it on the basis of evidence. Do it with due process.
Who said that we are not going to?
So I've been waiting, I've been hearing this answer for the last couple of years. Dr. Patra, I have been hearing this answer for the last couple of years, ban the Popular Front. But do it on the basis of evidence. My point is that, just a minute, Pawan Khera wanted to intervene. No, 1 minute. I allowed you uninterrupted time. Let Pawan intervene.
Just a second. Rajdeep,
you finish.
Since you asked me a question directly, let me allow 10 seconds. I'm finished, okay? But you asked a question.
Pawan Khera, why don't you respond?
My answer.
Rajdeep.
Yes.
My simple, humble submission is, when the Prime Minister of India starts talking irresponsibly about something as serious as terrorism, it's not a joke. People take him seriously. And if people stop taking him seriously, as I said, this becomes a wolf cry. Now, did he come back on the same dais, addressing the same people and say that, well, I was misled about the Pokhran train delay? I keep going back to that example because that example stays in my head, unfortunately, because it was the Prime Minister, 2016, Kanpur. One after the other plans started coming.
No, give me an example. You are making a charge that the Prime Minister doesn't take terrorism seriously. Please, you make a serious charge, you must back it up.
If you start using such serious issues just before the elections in Uttar Pradesh, then how will anyone take you seriously? Because it was not followed by a charge sheet by NIA. The NIA said, well, they were wrong. So, Well, the Prime Minister should not have been misinformed, and if he was misinformed, did he take action against those people who misinformed him? Because he misinformed the country, and the country took him seriously. So tomorrow, if he's right and if he's informed rightly, what if people don't take him seriously? It's something very serious. You cannot do that. I asked my friend Sambit Patra again, what about DYSP Davinder Singh? He was caught red-handed along with terrorists and weapons in his car. Where is UAPA on him? And why Akhil Gogoi? Why Bittu Sonowal? What about just 14% conviction rate of UAPA? All these questions, whether we are in government tomorrow, whether we were in government yesterday, whether you will be in opposition tomorrow, both you and I need to address these questions, because we are responsible citizens. We belong to national political parties. We are not a fly-by-night political party.
Okay, I want to get in, for just a minute, I want to get in Colin Gonzalez. Colin, give me the perspective. Is the problem with the way the criminal prosecution operates in such cases? We've seen in Pune, for example, with Sudha Bhardwaj and others. They've been in jail now for more than 2 years. Even the charges have not been framed.
Well, the problem lies with the fact that today all across the country, irrespective of the political party in power at the state, top police officers are willing to lie. They're willing to lie to the court. They're willing to lie to the people. They're willing to lie brazenly that the person who is actually innocent or responsible only for exercising democratic rights is a terrible, terrible terrorist. They got away with the Sudha Bharadwaj case. They got away with the Bhima Koregaon case. And they got away right to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court should have protected them, as they should protect these persons, this Kerala journalist. The court should protect these people. And all that a court has to do is to say, you want to investigate? Please investigate as long as you want. But I will not allow you to put a person in jail based on your storytelling.
Okay.
Show me the evidence. The moment you show me the evidence, I'll allow you to put him in jail. But I will not allow you to put a person in jail and then begin your investigation. No. And that's the way criminal law ought to be.
Okay.
That's the way criminal law was. But today judges have collapsed. Judges have begun supporting these kind of policemen.
Rajdeep.
Okay.
And the policemen lie so badly that the entire criminal justice system is disintegrating.
Okay, no, very strong
Rajdeep.
words. Vikram Singh, a quick comment, very quick.
Rajdeep, I need to
Police
comment,
officers and the police department is complicit. The judges are absolutely of no consequence. So the only people who are of value and are embodiment of all virtues are the so-called armchair activists. What a perverse way of putting up things, and what gives anybody the impression that policemen and the Indian judicial system are complicit, and the only people who really matter in society are the so-called holier-than-thou armchair activists. I would see that it seems to be absurd on the face of it, and I would not even warrant to contradict it, because it is so absurd that even mentioning it would give value to it.
Okay, let me leave it there. That was our first talking point. I have another talking point. So today we have two issues that we want to go through. I appreciate all of you joining us. Sambit Patra will stay with us because I have a second issue that's coming up. There's a massive showdown that took place in Kolkata today over the murder of a BJP worker. Street clashes broke out as the BJP workers fought pitched battles with the police in the heart of Kolkata as they tried to march to the state secretariat. They were alleging lawlessness and political killings under the Mamata regime. This, of course, is the showdown. Let's go straight then to our two guests at the moment, because clearly Bengal is becoming the other big talking point at the moment. Political killings on the rise in Bengal. Is the TMC government shielding party goons? Is the BJP a victim or a provoker of the violence? First, take a look at this story that we have on what happened in Kolkata today.
Sloganeering, stone pelting, water cannons, lathi charge, tear gas, chaos and pandemonium in the middle of a pandemic. On Thursday, parts of Kolkata and adjoining Howrah turned into a battle zone, with BJP workers and Kolkata police fighting pitched battles. BJP workers and supporters clashed with the police, hurling stones, blocking roads and burning tires to protest the killing of Saffron Party workers.
We are on the Howrah Bridge, right at the entry. Massive police presence. Look at the attire of the police. They're in full riot uniform, and BJP workers here, they have been pushed back.
Anticipating a big gathering, the police were already in riot gear. The BJP cadres were led by state and central leaders like Kailash Vijayvargiya, Mukul Roy, Swapan Das Gupta and Tejasvi Surya. Several BJP workers were injured in the melee.
आज पुलिस का हरकत देखिए, ऐसा करते हैं जो सारी को जैसे तोड़ा वो लोग ने मिट्टी में फेंक के मारा, और मैं लाठी को बचाने चला तो कोई कपड़े लेके ऐसा करके टांग मारे.
Kailash Vijayvargiya, the BJP judge standing with a helmet and ensuring that we continue to do so. With that, several other leaders of BJP standing with their supporters in this protest today against the TMC government.
The BJP called it a black day, alleging the murder of rule of law.
मुख्यमंत्री जी ने खुद जुलूस निकाला हथरास के लेकर के, सारे पार्टियां कर रही हैं और उनके हजारों लोगों की जुलूस गांव में हो रही है. कानून केवल बीजेपी के लिए है और लोकतंत्र बाकी लोगों के लिए है.
The TMC, however, blamed the BJP for the chaos in the state.
बीजेपी কোনো রাজনৈতিক দল না, সন্ত্রাসবাদীদের দল. সন্ত্রাস করে গুজরাটে করেছে, দিল্লিতে করেছে, উত্তর প্রদেশের সন্ত্রাস চলছে, বাংলার শান্ত পরিবেশকেও নষ্ট করার চেষ্টা করছে.
The scenes on the streets of Kolkata are signs that the battle for Bengal is only heating up. With Manogya Loiwal and Indrajit Kundu in Kolkata, Bureau Report, India Today.
Okay, so clearly the battle lines are being drawn in Bengal. You can see the TMC versus the BJP now becoming almost a daily battleground there. Sambit Patra still with us. Dr. Patra, you know, it appears at the moment that you're itching for a confrontation with Mamata Banerjee ahead of the elections. She, of course, has much to answer for and will be joined by a Trinamool guest shortly. But I want to ask you, do you believe that violence on the streets of Bengal is the way forward? Is this the way in which you believe the issues can be resolved, Dr. Patra?
Show me a picture where there's violence on the streets of Bengal. This is a democratic country, Mr. Sardesai, and in a democratic country, to have a protest is our democratic right. I mean, all opposition parties can have protests across the length and breadth of the country, but BJP cannot have a democratic protest in India, in West Bengal. Secondly, and most importantly, I was listening to the Bengal minister, Mr. Firad Hakim, who is popularly known as Bobby Hakim, who was saying that Bharatiya Janata Party ektu Rajnitik Party nai, ektu Santrasbadi Party, meaning we are a terror organization and we are not a political party. He was saying that we are spoiling the Shanti Porivesh of West Bengal. We were spoiling the Shanti, the peaceful atmosphere of West Bengal. What peaceful atmosphere? Almost every day we have one of our karyakartas being brutally murdered and killed, hanged and raped. And this is Santiful Parivesh. This is the peaceful environment of Bengal that he's talking about. And this Mr. Firad Hakim.
Dr. Patra, let the TMC now respond. No, let the TMC respond because we have limited time and the TMC must answer your serious charges.
Rajdeep, I'm not more than 2 seconds. Not more than 2 seconds. I'll just remind you that Firad Hakim, Bobby Hakim is the same person who said in the last election that I contest from mini Pakistan in West Bengal. My area should be called as mini Pakistan. So who is the provocateur? Who is provoking? Okay. The people who call that my constituency is mini Pakistan, calling that BJP is a terror organizations, or one who are holding a peaceful protest.
Can I just get Kakoli now to respond? Kakoli, you are the party in power. At the end of the day, The party in power in Bengal is accused today of preventing the BJP from even staging a protest in Kolkata. You barricade it and make a fortress. Are you saying that no party has the right to protest? They are protesting against the alleged killing of one of their political workers. They have every right to do so. You do it. You were doing it when the left was in power. You'll do it today in Delhi, but they can't do it in Kolkata.
What did they do to us when we just wanted, one of us, just myself, I wanted to go and meet this lady who's lost her daughter to the brutal rape and murder in Hathras. What did you do? That's besides the question. I even don't want to answer this gentleman who doesn't know anything about Bengal. They are importing people from other states like Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, where there is
No, 1 minute now. Let's let her intervene with you. Dr. Patra, she will let us speak.
Mayhem in Bengal. Now,
No, 1 minute. Law and order. Kakoli Ghosh Dastidar. Law and order is your responsibility. If a killing takes place in Bengal, it is your responsibility. If a political party wants to protest against it, they have every right to do so.
Let me answer. The law that prevents gathering of more than 100 people is passed by the Honorable Home Minister of their government in Delhi. The NDMA Act is in action. They can't have hundreds of hooligans on the streets of Bengal. We cannot let the peace that prevails here be disturbed by hooligans from other states. And the gentleman who was in charge, in charge of their youth, he is called their Karnataka state a state of terrorists. So he's come here to create terrorism and he's...
1 minute. Kakoli Ghosh Dastidar, Tejasvi Surya may be an MP from... 1 minute, sir, now. No, 1 minute. Tejasvi Surya may be an MP from Bangalore. He is the BJP Yuva Morcha president. He wants to come and stage a protest in Kolkata. Kolkata, Bengal is part of India. He's entitled to do so.
He can. But they shouldn't be carrying guns. They shouldn't be carrying bombs. And they shouldn't be breaking the NDMA Act, which is done by their government. The Honorable Union Minister of Home has implemented it for the pandemic. They want to break the pandemic. They don't have the masks on. Hundreds of them with bombs. They are trying to create on the streets of Calcutta mayhem and arson.
I object to this.
I can
look at the picture. Who is throwing all these bombs? 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute. You know, the fact is, some of the pictures clearly show that these are armed groups. Now, we can argue whether these are all BJP workers or whether they are lumpen elements. But Dr. Patra, look at the scenes that are playing out. Are these all honest BJP workers who wanted a non-violent protest, or did they want to create violence?
See, as far as violence is concerned, we have lost 115 of our karyakartas. 115 have been brutally murdered, killed, raped. In the last 60 days alone, 7 of our karyakartas. If you want, just fake news machinery. Sorry, I object, madam. What kind of member of parliament she is? She calls the death of Manish Shukla fake. She calls the death of... No, madam. You don't have any right of calling Manish Shukla's death as fake death. You have no right, whosoever you may be, to say that Gautam Patra's death was a fake death. To say that Sudarshan Parmanik death is a fake death. To say that Sikhdar Liaquat is a fake death. How dare you say that? No, this is demeaning.
Okay,
she should apologize.
Okay, this is
saying that Manish Shukla is not dead, saying that Manish Shukla is not dead and that's a fake news is shamelessness on a part.
Okay.
Shamelessness on a part.
Let's leave it there. This is going to go out of control. And we do news without a law. Either way, these images that have come from Kolkata today are a disgrace. They really do not befit.
People did brick batting. They had guns. They were throwing bombs.
Okay, you're saying they are throwing bombs. They are saying that you're...
Will you own up? BJP
TMC people were throwing bombs from the high rise. TMC netas
what have we come to? What have we come to in the 21st century? Political parties accusing each other of throwing bombs in the heart of the city. Let's leave it there. This is going to build up into the elections in Bengal. Dr. Patra, Kakoli Ghosh Dastidar, appreciate your joining me on the news today as we try to find out who really is responsible for throwing bombs in the heart of a city. Let's take a break. When we return, the other big story today. The Mumbai police accuses Back to our other big story. The Mumbai police has put the fake television rating points nexus in the spotlight. The police have accused 3 news channels of corruption by manipulating viewership data, by bribing viewers and thereby misleading advertisers. One of the channels in the dock is Republic TV, along with 2 local channels in Mumbai. Take a look at that report.
We are asking a simple question, Arnab. Mumbai police has registered a case against you. What do you have to care?
It was an open secret in the industry. Television rating points, the scale that is used to measure viewership of news channels, could be getting fixed. Finally, the cat is out of the bag.
BARC ने जो अपनी एनालिटिकल रिपोर्ट सबमिट की है, उसमें जो नाम सामने आया है, वो है रिपब्लिक टेलीविजन का, जिसमें के सस्पिशन ट्रेंड्स टीआरपी के देखे गए। 2 चैनल के ओनर्स फक्त मराठी एंड बॉक्स सिनेमा के ओनर्स को ऑलरेडी अरेस्ट कर लिया गया है।
The Mumbai police have arrested the owners of 2 Marathi channels and summons are being issued to the promoters of Republic TV.
गुने के इन्वेस्टिगेशन में जो अब सामने आ रहे हैं वो रिपब्लिक टीवी के वहाँ काम करने वाले लोग या उस कंपनी के डायरेक्टर्स या प्रमोटर्स इन्वॉल्व होने के चांसेस हैं, उनके खिलाफ आगे का इन्वेस्टिगेशन किया जा रहा है।
The police are alleging criminal breach of trust and will investigate the revenue earned by the companies on the basis of fake TRPs. The police said that the modus operandi to fix rating was simple. Households where TRP meters were installed were paid rupees 400 to 500 every month to keep the channel switched on. The investigation was carried out on the basis of a complaint filed by the Broadcast Audience Research Council, which had given the contract to Hansa Research to collect data. BARC, in its response, stated it follows all guidelines and reports truthfully. It also appreciated Mumbai Police's actions and reiterated support for the police in the investigations. India Today tried for a reaction from Republic promoter Arnab Goswami, but the news anchor who demands answers of all in the name of Republic seemed to have none when it came to allegations that he and his channel has fixed ratings.
We have not done anything wrong, you are innocent. Why are you giving us this treatment?
Mumbai police has unearthed what it says is a rupees 40,000 crore rating scam. Mumbai police has said that Republic channel rigged ratings and bribed people to watch their channels. Now, the editor-in-chief of Republic will be questioned by the Mumbai police. Mumbai police proceedings will be reported by India Today. There is a difference between fabricating truth and being the fabric of truth. With camera person Kiran Sapkal, this is Divyesh Singh in Mumbai for India Today.
Let me give you my take on that story. Today is a sad day for us who have spent the best part of our professional life in news TV. That TRPs can be and are fixed has been one of the worst kept secrets in this industry. But that this corrupt practice has spread so far and wide is what we need to wake up to. A distortion in viewership patterns has contributed in no small measure to a content crisis. That TRP rigging is now a criminal investigation is also not surprising. When those who point accusing fingers at one and all are accused of subverting the system themselves, they must face up to questions and the law. We desperately need a news ecosystem which is free of this toxic daily diet of lies and slander, of abuse and character assassination. TV news is not meant to be a big boss like reality news show where the worst behaved person wins. Nor can a news studio become a courtroom where the anchor is judge, prosecutor and executioner. What we need is a cleanup. This includes news measurement systems too. I said this a few days ago, but I will reiterate this today. True TRP equals television respect points, my friends. That is earned by doing solid fact-based journalism, not by noise, not by doing rating chori. Chores flourish, my friends, in a banana republic, not in a constitutional democracy with the rule of law as its touchstone. Think about it. Let me turn to my good news story, and we need some good news. In the middle of the COVID pandemic, all the bad news coming in, here's a beautiful story of how you can make a difference using social media. It restores faith in humanity and in a way in social media as well. Tonight's good news story on Baba Ka Dhaba.
In Malviya Nagar in Delhi, this elderly couple, known for their matar paneer, have been making home-cooked meals and selling it to their customers. It's a tiny kiosk that helps them earn a livelihood. They have done this for 30 years. Nobody saw what happened to scores of such small stalls post the pandemic. Until last night, there emerged an Instagram post by Vasundhara Tanka Sharma. She posted a video featuring this couple and said, "Completely broke my heart." She went on to urge Delhiites, please go eat at Baba Ka Dhaba in Malviya Nagar.
बिल्कुल मत रोइए, कोई टेंशन नहीं है, ऊपर वाला आपके साथ है। क्या बात है यार, मतलब जरा रंगत देखो भाई मटर पनीर की। बड़े बड़े रेस्टोरेंट ढाबों में भी आपको ऐसा मटर पनीर नहीं मिलेगा, और बेचारे जैसे कि बता रहे हैं कि नहीं बेच पाते हैं।
Soon after the post went viral, Baba Ka Dhaba was amongst the top trends on Twitter. And today, you can see people thronging to put a smile back on the Baba and his wife. And voila, there's a happy Baba and his wife back on their feet.
पहले खाना खाने आते थे कि नहीं आते थे?
नहीं, आज पहली बार खाना खाने आए हैं वैसे तो, लेकिन सुबह से 2 बार खा चुके हैं।
हम बेसिकली यहाँ पर हेल्प करने आए थे बाबा की सुबह ही। हम बाबा का वेटर बन जाएंगे, पर बाबा को जरूरत ही नहीं है शायद ऐसी। गौरव की वीडियो देखकर आए थे।
थैंक यू फॉर शेयरिंग द वीडियो, और बहुत 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 अच्छा लगा हमें। बहुत सारी जगहों से कॉल आ रहा है, और जितने भी स्मॉल स्ट्रीट फूड वेंडर्स हैं, ना कि सिर्फ ये, बाकी जितने भी स्ट्रीट फूड वेंडर्स हैं, हमें उन लोगों की भी मदद इसी तरीके से करनी चाहिए।
This video is a beautiful example of how social media can be used correctly and restores the much needed faith in humanity. Bureau Report, India Today.
बाबा का धाबा, इसे कहते हैं गुड न्यूज स्टोरी. Let's leave you with my image tonight. Before that, a reminder that at 10 p.m. today we'll have a special with Ramvilas Paswan and Chirag Paswan. This is the last interview Mr. Paswan did. He tragically passed away a few hours ago. My image today, a stray housefly that has become the talking point for the world, stole the show during the vice presidential debate in the United States. As Mike Pence was busy delivering his speech, a housefly sat on his head, triggering a huge uproar on social media. Unaware of the incident, Pence made no attempt to get rid of the fly, continued with the debate. Let's find out where the fly will be in whose ointment in this presidential race. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.